Okay, so we're diving into something really important today, the world of missing children and the incredible work being done to bring them home.
Yeah, it's
We're focusing on Alpha One Legal Services,
right.
specifically their blog post from September 29th of this year, 2024.
Okay.
They claim a 92% success rate
Wow.
in tracing missing children, which is just unheard of, like miles ahead of the industry average.
That is really impressive. You know, a number like that in this field, it really makes you take notice. It says a lot about the kind of expertise they must have, the resources at their disposal.
So what does that look like in action? You know, what are they doing that's so different?
Well, they talk about being digital detectives, which I love. It sounds like something out of
Right.
a movie. But
Yeah.
they're using things like data mining, facial recognition software, all very cutting edge.
That sounds both fascinating and a little unnerving, to be honest.
I know, right? It's like they can recover deleted messages, piece together online activity,
Wow.
that someone thought was gone forever.
Like digital breadcrumbs.
Exactly. These digital breadcrumbs can be incredibly revealing.
It's like a whole other world we leave behind online, you know?
It is. It is.
And they were also clear that the technology is just a tool, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They emphasize that you need the skilled investigators to actually make sense of all that data.
Yeah, that's where their expertise really comes in. It's not enough to just have the technology.
Right.
You have to know how to connect the dots, how to interpret it.
That's where the behavioral profiling comes into play.
Yeah.
Okay, so break that down for me. How does understanding behavior actually help in these situations?
So imagine trying to find like a needle in a haystack,
Yeah.
right? But now imagine if you could make that haystack smaller, more manageable.
Huh?
That's what behavioral profiling does. They analyze the missing child's personality, their habits, even their social media sometimes.
To get inside their head a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
To understand how they might act, where they might go.
And you can apply that same logic to potential abductors too, right?
Absolutely. You start to understand the psychology of the situation. You can predict movements. You can anticipate their next step.
So this all sounds fascinating, like it's straight out of, Mindhunter or something. But in this case, it's about saving lives. But time is always the essence, right?
Oh, absolutely. Those first 48 hours are critical.
Yeah.
Critical. Yeah. And that's why Alpha One has these rapid response teams.
Yeah.
They're ready to go at a moment's notice.
And they mean rapid?
They mean it. Gathering evidence, coordinating with law enforcement, all while trying to manage the information overload that happens
right.
in those early stages.
So it's like organized chaos, controlled urgency.
Yes. I like that. They have this 6-step process they lay out in the blog post. Consultation, strategy, resources, investigation, evaluation, and then resolution and follow-up.
Wow, so it's very structured.
It is. But the key, I think, is adaptability.
Okay.
They're constantly evaluating, adjusting their approach based on the unique circumstances of each case. There is no one-size-fits-all solution.
Of course,
When you're dealing with missing children.
Right. Now, one thing I found really interesting is that they also handle cases that cross borders.
Yeah, those are tough.
Which just seems incredibly complex to me, right?
Oh, absolutely. International child abduction cases, those are a whole other layer of difficulty.
Yeah.
Different laws, jurisdictions, cultural nuances.
It's a lot.
It's a minefield, really.
Yeah.
Alpha One emphasizes their global network in these cases.
Right.
So we're talking law enforcement agencies, private investigators, legal experts on international child custody laws.
It's like a global search party.
Yes.
But instead of torches and dogs, they're using data and algorithms and...
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And the fact that they have those resources, the know-how to navigate that complexity, speaks volumes about their expertise.
Absolutely, yeah. It's incredible to think about the global scale of this, right? It's not just about one agency or one country. It's kids all over the world.
It really is a global issue.
Yeah.
And thinking about that global reach, it makes you realize they have to understand all these different cultures too.
Oh, absolutely.
What might be like totally normal in one country as far as investigation goes, could be completely unacceptable somewhere else.
You have to be so careful.
Oh, incredibly nuanced.
Right. So it's not just about having a contact list, right? It's about knowing the nuances of all these different cultures, how to work with them effectively.
It is, yeah.
So it's like expertise on top of expertise.
Exactly. And the stakes are just so high,
Right.
You think about it. We're talking about children's lives here. Families being torn apart.
It's the worst possible thing.
It's just, there's no room for error.
No.
You got to get it right. It's about helping these families heal, rebuild their lives.
It's giving them the tools.
Yes, exactly.
Just to put themselves back together.
But how can you even begin to move on after something like that?
It's unimaginable, and I imagine it takes a special kind of person to do that work, right?
It really does.
Like, it's one thing to be a good investigator, but to be that support system, that pillar of strength.
Yeah, to have that empathy,
yeah,
that compassion, that's something else entirely.
Right.
And, that's what really struck me about this blog post. There's this humanity woven through everything they talked about.
Yeah.
They talk about their team, not just their skills, but their empathy, their commitment to these families.
They're advocates.
Yes, exactly.
It's almost like they become a part of the family through this whole thing.
Yeah. In a way, they do. And I think that approach, that commitment, it has to play a huge role in their success.
It makes you wonder, how you could even be successful without it, you know?
Right.
Because it's such a human issue.
It is.
At its core.
It is.
It's a good reminder that even in the darkest of times, when it feels like there's no hope left, there are people out there fighting for these families.
Every single day.
To bring them back together.
It's true.
And that's a really powerful message, It's
a powerful message of hope.
It really does. It makes you think about that saying, it takes a village.
Right.
But in this case, it's a global village.
It is, yeah.
Of experts working together.
And that's what I think is so remarkable about Alpha One.
Yeah.
They've recognized they can't be everything to everyone.
Right. Right.
They've honed their expertise, the investigation, the support.
Right.
And then they've built this network to fill in the gaps. So smart.
Yeah.
To provide that truly comprehensive response.
They seem to really understand what's needed on every level.
Yes.
The practical stuff, the emotional support. It's not just about finding the child.
It's not. It's about those ripple effects.
Yes, exactly.
The aftermath.
It's dealing with the whole thing.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's what sets them apart.
Yeah.
Is that holistic approach.
Yeah.
They're not just tackling a case. They're right there with those families.
Walking alongside them.
Yes. Walking alongside them. I love that through every single step.
It's such a powerful image, that idea of not taking over, but just being there.
Right.
Offering guidance and support when people need it most.
And it speaks to, a deep understanding of what these families are going through.
Absolutely.
There's the resilience, but also the fragility.
Yeah, it's both.
It is. It is.
Wow. Well, this deep dive has been incredible.
It has.
So eye-opening. I feel like I've learned so much, not just about, the mechanics of finding missing children, but the empathy, the expertise, and just, wow, the commitment to reuniting these families.
And, my hope is that anyone listening feels empowered by this, that they know there are resources out there.
Absolutely.
People dedicated to this cause, if they ever, God forbid, are in that situation.
Right. And to that point, we will definitely include a link to Alpha One Legal Services website in our show notes.
Please do.
They have a ton of information on there.
Yeah. They're very open about what they do.
And their mission.
Which is great.
Because, knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely. And the more we understand about the work being done, the better equipped we all are.
Right.
To support it. Yeah. To advocate for change,
Of course.
And make sure every missing child has that chance to come home.
That's what it's all about. Well said. Until next time, everyone.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Stay curious, stay informed, and keep those conversations going.